Hello Muggles, today we're showcasing our newly raised Diluc. People were complaining that I had him for like 13 seconds and he wasn't level 90 yet. And I thought instead of just a general showcase like we usually do, we're going to showcase him versus my day one main, Keqing, and just kind of like compare them. It's not going to be exactly fair, obviously, because Keqing has kind of better stuff than he does, but we're not only going to be looking at like damage numbers. Before I get into that, I want to thank today's video sponsor, Timmy's Pigeons. As you can see, our Diluc actually has a very well-fitting weapon. It's the one from the Star Exchange, whatever it's called. I just think it suits him super nicely. Also stats-wise, it's not bad. Thought it's nice, but yeah, he's rocking Black Cliff Slasher. 50% crit damage is pretty pog, and then, you know, this is a little niche. If there's like one enemy there, it's not going to proc, whatever. I've talked about this already. In most cases, it will do something. And you can take a look at my other options here, which is exactly nothing good. So yeah, it's only at Refined 2 now because when it comes back in the shop, there'll be 3 there. And if we really want to R5 it at that point, then I'll do it. He is currently rocking Crimson Witch of Flames. I believe this is the best set for him. And most of these pieces were stolen off of Bennett, which is very sad. I do eventually want to try them both in the same team, so we're gonna have to farm a lot more Fire Dungeon, but for now, this is what he has. Starting with the Flower, we got okay attack, bit of crit damage in there, energy recharge, pretty general stuff. On Plume, we got crit rate and attack. Could be better, but yeah, I don't have very good luck with the Crimson stuff for whatever reason. I'm gonna take Bennett's because it has a lot of attack there and almost the same crit rate. Hourglass, of course, is attack percent. It only has crit damage and a bit of elemental mastery, so it's pretty meh overall, but again, I just don't have good luck with the Fire Dungeon. Of course, pyro damage bonus. Diluc does a ton of pyro damage. Substats are absolute trash, but it is pyro damage bonus on the Crimson set, so I can't really ask for much more. And then our off piece is the helmet with crit rate. I decided to give him crit rate instead of crit damage because his weapon is crit damage and he needs a lot of crit rate to compensate for that. In fact, I don't think we even have enough. And the substats are okay. There's a decent amount of crit damage there. He is, of course, Z0 as we are not a whale yet. Talents, unfortunately, are a little low since he is still a new character. I do want to get this one up to 6, and we could even get it up to 7 as well. As he is a main DPS, focus should be more on normal attack, but I already have 2 other main DPSs that are fully raised, so I'm not in a massive rush for that. Again, I want him a lot more for his pyro. And to be totally honest, I'm not even sure how to play Diluc. Like, one of his skills decreases his charge attack stamina cost. But like when I'm playing with other Dilucs, I don't see them doing charge attacks very often, unless I just don't notice that they're doing it. Oh, and with this, he has a 100% uptime on his Pyro Blade after doing his ult. Well, unfortunately, we're missing the books here anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and go 7 here since we have the golden ones. And yeah, that's good enough to test him. He is also level, well, he's level 79 now. Whatever, it's a waste, but let's just get him up to 80. So I'd say all around, you know, level 80. Weapon level 80. I mean, this could be enhanced to 80 out of 90. You know, you get a pretty significant base attack boost there. So I would like to do that eventually. Unfortunately, right now we don't have the stuff. And yeah, here are his overall stats for now. We have 1575 attack, which is pretty pathetic for a Diluc with his massive base attack there. But yeah, I can't do anything about it. I believe his weapon also doesn't have a massive amount. The crit rate, crit damage is a little bit unbalanced here. I would like to have at least around 75 crit rate with that crit damage, especially because he is a slower swinging character and his ult kind of hits once or twice. I'd say he is actually a pretty realistic Diluc. Like, he's not super crazy like maybe my Keqing is, you know, with her 2k attack, 75 crit rate, 182 crit damage. Those are pretty end game stats. Diluc is more kind of just, you know, a Diluc. So again, we're not really going to be comparing damages all that much, more just like play style. But just for fun, we have a Fire Slime over here. This is one area Diluc shines a lot more. He can get that dude right out of there. And you know, his damage is actually pretty solid. There was a 13k there. I believe those were vaporizes though. We are still kind of starting off with just a Diluc showcase here because yeah, I think everyone who's been watching my channel has seen so much Keqing gameplay already, but yeah, here, let's try his Q. I think that happened already. So actually, you know, it does hit multiple times. We'll get to the comparison soon, but since melts and vaporize and stuff like that are so strong, I think he definitely needs someone like that. Maybe someone like Chi-Chi or even support Ganyu. I mean, Ganyu would definitely be better in a lot of cases. Ouch. So let's see. Oh, well, they're actually wet right now. Okay, we're missing some crits here, but let's go ahead and try his Q. Yeah, that was a 30k crit there. Let's take a look at that charged attack. Yeah, he doesn't do much physical either because he's not built like that. Well, he's really good against the shield, dudes. Really good at getting raw meat. Oh yeah, but on a serious note, this is actually the first greatsword user I've raised. Rocks and stuff will be easy to break with him in my team. That's Pog. Actually, does that really last 12 seconds? His infusion, it doesn't really seem like it does. Oh, it does though, yeah. It lasts until his ult comes back. In fact, it's still there. Actually, I think his ult is superior. Probably for a main DPS, the basic attack is always the best, but so the multipliers do look pretty impressive considering you can do these one after the other, but considering the enemies kind of get dragged along, you know, that dot adds up, at least when they're smaller enemies. But for like bigger enemies where it just passes through them, you're basically only getting the slashing damage, I guess, because the explosion happens kind of far away. Ooh, water slimes. These, I guess, are his favorite. Yeah, the damage is pretty sad when it doesn't crit. I really need to get more crit rate on him. Let's go ahead and do a Q. Damn. How about a Cryo Abyss Mage? I guess this should be pretty decent as well. Oh, look at all that shield going away that fast. Oh yeah, and with these two, pop. Uh-oh, we have to defeat the Eye of the Storm, however. Keqing is gonna win this category, I guess, because she can hit him while he's in the air. Ah, he dodged it. Come on, melt. Oh no, it got a superconduct instead. Come on, melts. Yeah, pretty solid melt. Gotta do the Viridescent test, of course. Actually not sure if his bird will fly under them, but we'll see. Gonna try and get them all icy for some melts as well. Let's see. Nah, it definitely hit some of them. Yeah, I mean, everyone else died, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess a lot of that was Venti as well, but I think his ult did a ton of damage there. Yeah, he's not doing anything with his basic attacks. It's pretty sad. I still need to learn how to use him. Let's go ahead and try that again. Charge attacks, maybe? Ah, the witch is still alive. Not for long, though. Ah. Well, his ult and skill are really nice. I'm just not sure what's up with that basic attack. It's so... The multipliers seem pretty good, but he is a greatsword user. Probably just needs to be leveled up more, I can imagine. So, Keqing versus Diluc. These are the two OG main DPSs, I would say. Now we have a couple more, and some people are using sort of unorthodox characters as main DPSs, which, you know, can definitely work out fine too. And then there's like Razor, he's kind of OG as well. But, you know, these are the two 5-stars. The two different characters a lot of people were just going for in the beginning. After playing with Diluc for a bit, I can definitely understand the hype. Like, that's kind of cool. Also, if you were built up to the same standards my Keqing currently is, I'm sure those numbers would be absolutely insane. Because him poorly built, I'm seeing some impressive numbers. But you also do have to remember that, you know, this is Keqing's attack, and this is Diluc's attack. So for this comparison, let's just start with basic attacks. I may be a little biased here, but I definitely prefer Keqing's faster, slicey attacks. I don't particularly like her last attack where she plunges forward, though. Diluc is fine. I think for a greatsword user, his attacks are decently fast. Ultimately, though, I prefer Keqing's. As far as charge attacks are concerned, I generally don't like the wind-up time from Diluc's and other greatsword users, though his isn't a Beyblade like some of the other greatsword users' charge attacks, so I definitely prefer Diluc's style of charge attack. I think if you could position yourself well enough, it can definitely do some solid damage. Actually, I think I need to do some math here. So we have his multipliers, and we have the time it takes them to do their basic attack. I would say in a real world scenario, you're not going to be able to get that final hit most of the time. The charge attack lasts a very long time, and anyone who is not dead at this point is probably a big enemy that can just knock you around. Best case scenario, his entire charge attack sequence hits 19 times. I will count the first basic attack as the timer start because that'll also includes the wind up, and that is necessary to start the charge attacks. So we have the 1-hit damage of 122, 1793.6% from the charge attack spinning damage, and then 170%, giving us a total multiplier of 1883.2%. Literally best case scenario. And then his 4-hit sequence altogether does 557% damage, which is obviously a lot less, but it's a lot easier to start and get out of and restart than charge attacks. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this. Some kind of result or thing will be on screen right here, because I'll have to dig into it further to see how bad or good it is, and I have to do that after editing because I have to view the clips and time them and everything. I'm really sorry, that was a huge tangent. Charge attacks. I think I still like Keqing's. Again, probably biased here, but I still think Keqing's is better. It's just one quick 2-hit thing that is easy to do real quick, and then, you know, iframe an attack and go back around and keep doing it. It is incredibly stamina hungry though, where Diluc definitely wins in that department. As far as the E is concerned, I would consider Keqing's kind of more like utility, as you saw, versus the Eye of the Storm. You know, it can go up there and hit them. She can also hit Ruin Guard eyes. We can't really compare talent multipliers since hers is level 9, but even at level 9, you know, the slashing damage percent is quite a bit lower than Diluc's, at least when you combine all 3 hits. But Keqing has the advantage that this is what infuses her weapon with Electro instead of her ult. I also like her a lot more in that regard because you can kind of build her physical. You can choose to still use her E and not gain the Electro status by just doing a charge attack and having that little extra attack there. With Diluc's, his sword will definitely be infused with fire once you do his Q. There's no getting out of it. So right now it's kind of shaping up that Diluc is more of just a damage pyro beast, and Keqing is just a bit more versatile. You know, she can do some cool things with her Stellar Restoration, get some high ground. I've also used it quite a bit to snipe those annoying bow and arrow dudes on their little towers. I know I'm being super biased, but I want to give this one to Keqing too. I just think her E was always so cool. You know, you can aim it and teleport to it. Diluc's is strong and really nice and flashy, but it's kind of basic, you know, it's just a series of attacks. And I'm sure a well-built Diluc can do massive damages with that, and relatively speaking, it's on a pretty short cooldown, because once the series is actually over, it's like, you know, same as Keqing's, about 7.5 seconds. And then finally we have the ults. Diluc's absolutely wins hands down. I like Keqing, but her ult is kind of meh. It does have one really redeeming quality, and that is her crit rate and energy recharge are increased by 15% for 8 seconds after doing it with this talent here, and I think that's really nice. But yeah, its damage is honestly pretty meh, you know, 36% times 8. So for all those slashes, that's a total of 288% there, which is less than 1 charge attack. Quite a bit less, actually. I think even if it was level 7. She does have the last attack damage at 283, and the skill damage itself is okay. I don't know what it is, I just don't really like using her ult because it feels like it doesn't do that much for how long it lasts. I feel like I could do more without doing it. But then I really like the crit rate boost that it gives also, so I do it. Also gives me a second to get some of my stamina back, so it's not all bad. But Diluc's has a massive AoE, it's very strong, and it's fast. It's just a lot more enjoyable to use than Keqing's in my opinion. It's just more of a personal feeling for me, honestly. Let's go ahead and move on to constellations. These are a little bit more important now that a Keqing banner is confirmed, so that must mean a Diluc banner is coming as well. I was already somewhat familiar with Keqing's, which I still find quite underwhelming, honestly. At C4 we have a 25% attack boost, which is somewhat significant, and it should have a pretty much 100% uptime, as electro-related elemental reactions are very easy to do. But yeah, that's C4, 25% attack boost. I don't know, it's not that special. And then we have an up to 24% electro damage bonus boost, which is, again, okay, it's fine. You know, it's not that much, 24% though, at C6. But then Diluc's sound actually quite interesting. C1, not really, 15% more damage to enemies above 50% HP. It's fine, it's okay. It's not that great though, but I guess 15% more damage is not like attack. Damage multipliers are a lot more powerful. His C2 sounds a little bit weird if you're a good player, or if those pyro damage ticks procs this and you're like in a grass field or something, I guess. I think both his C4 and C6 are quite incredible though. This is a 40% extra damage boost on Searing Onslaught, at least for the second one, though based on the wording it could be the third one as well. And then a C6 just kind of sounds bonkers, so you'd be like Searing Onslaught, two normal attacks that have their attack speed boosted and damage, of course, and then Searing Onslaught, 2 more normal attacks. I don't know if that's exactly how it would work, but that's what it sounds like. So a C6 definitely sounds fun. I would definitely give the constellations to Diluc. Keqing's are kind of basic and a little underwhelming, honestly. I don't think there's too much else to compare, just general funness to use. I would probably still prefer Keqing. I just like the faster attacks, and her lightning stiletto is really fun to use. So if I had to pick one main DPS, it would still be Keqing. But since I'm not forced to pick one, I do like them both. And I'm looking forward to raising Diluc a bit more. There are also a lot of places Diluc really shines where Keqing just doesn't as much, like the like his talent book place. Diluc is amazing there with all those cryo slimes. And he will be amazing as a second main DPS in Abyss as well. Take the whole comparison with a pretty large grain of salt. I am quite biased. I've been using Keqing since day one, and I just, you know, really like her. Diluc, on the other hand, I don't have much experience besides what other people are saying about him and such and so forth. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it. Make sure to tell me what you think in the comments down below. Dropping a like if you do enjoy is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.